Parrish with Self Wellness Company LLC. Today we are going to talk about the benefits of building muscle mass. Now, in our society, we often see a huge focus on weight loss and fat loss, and the problem that typically is incurred is that we are not taking a step back to take a little bit deeper look into the benefits of building muscle mass versus overall weight loss. So today's presentation will be short, it will be sweet, it will be succinct, and we'll get through this pretty quickly because I want you to have the tools necessary to have that mind shift into a better position to where you can take your personal health and wellness goals and allow yourself to shift to the mindset of building muscle mass because of the benefits of muscle mass and because of the idea of how much more quickly you will burn fat, how much better you'll feel, and all the benefits that are within this presentation. So without further ado, let's get started. So we're always going to start with the idea of what is your mean. Mean in this case stands for mental stress, emotional stress, activity-based stress, and nutritional-based stress. So when we take a look at our jobs, when we take a look at our responsibilities as human beings, as productive members of society, we often overlook the types of stress that we are incurring on a daily basis. So it's super important for you to find your mean because this will affect your results. The bottom line is we are seeing a high rate of stress-related illnesses because we are ignoring ourselves. We are taking care of everything else around us, all the external factors, and we're ignoring the internal physiology of what's happening to us. So in order for us to ensure that we're getting results, we have to be able to take a look at our mean, which is our mental, our emotional, our activity-based stress, and our nutritional-based stress. That will always be the beginning step of you implementing any type of health and wellness program. So here's some quick stats about muscle mass. So the average person starts losing muscle mass at age 25. Now, that being said, we know that there is a domestication process when it comes to men. At age 25, we start losing testosterone as well. So women, men, if you start taking a look at the rate of muscle mass loss, from age 25 to age 70, we are losing up to 8%. Now let me repeat that. 8% muscle mass until age 70 to 72. At that point, between ages 70 and 72, this rate escalates to 15 or 18%, well, between 15 and 18%, each year. That is astounding. So when we take a look at the risk for slip, trips, and falls, when we take a look at connective tissues and the importance of staving off arthritis, we need to be highly aware of how much muscle mass plays a factor in the quality of our lives. So here are some commonly known benefits of muscle mass. Increased performance within the human movement system. So when we take a look at the idea of neuromuscular efficiency, we know that improvement in balance, improvement in the connective tissue area, ligaments, tendons, they also become stronger as we improve neuromuscular efficiency. So balance improves, connectivity improves. If you look at the risk for injury, it also decreases as we increase neuromuscular efficiency. So your human movement system is one of the most important movement systems that you have from the time that you're born to the time that you die. So by exploring the neuromuscular efficiencies, by increasing your balance, by increasing the connective tissue strength of your ligaments and your tendons, you also decrease the risk of injury. Stronger bones. Now, over 30 million adults are affected by osteoarthritis. Now, I'll state that one more time. 30 million adults are affected by osteoarthritis. So, when we take a look at knees and hips, and we take a look at the rate of knee and hip replacements, we are starting to see a huge increase in the rate of knee and hip replacements. Why? Because people are incurring osteoarthritis at higher rates. Additionally, arthritis puts people at a greater risk for slip, trips, and falls. So if you think about it, the CDC states in numerical value that people who incur any type of osteoarthritis, whether it be knees or hips, they are 2.5 times greater, and I mean 2.5 times greater risk for slip, trips, and falls. So take that in consideration when you're thinking about the benefits of building muscle mass. All right, here are some amazing benefits of building muscle mass. So you can pretty much go to any blog, you can go any place and read about muscle mass. You can look around the gym and people aesthetically want to look good. All right, now those are side effects, in my opinion. The internal physiology behind building muscle mass is what really matters. So what are some amazing benefits of building muscle mass? Number one, increased metabolic efficiency. So when we increase our metabolism, we also increase the energy that is required for our body to perform. Well, with the rate of energy that is required with lean mass, we actually burn more calories. So think of it this way. Muscle requires more energy output, and the greater your metabolism, the greater your ability to burn fat. So secondarily, if you have a cheat day, let's say you go to Buffalo Wild Wings and you get you a big old bucket of wings, you're not going to be as affected as you would typically without that lean muscle mass. Why? Because your increased metabolic efficiency is through the roof because you are building lean muscle mass. Number two, immune system support. Increases the production of macrophages. Now, macrophages are usually within white blood cells, and they can be found at the site of infections. These things are responsible for fighting off infections. Now, with increasing lean muscle mass, you increase the production of macrophages, which means you actually heal quicker, you feel better, and you get sick less frequently. Why? Because these macrophages are attacking the bacteria at the site, and it's supporting you in getting healthy. All right. So here is the ticket. Stress adaptation, the benefit of building muscle for stress adaptation. Everything you do on a daily basis is a stress adaptation. And at the end of the day, if you think about this, your adaptation is either a positive or a negative effect. Let's make it a positive. Here's why. How does it support the mean? So we said the mean was the first step in implementing any type of health and wellness program. Number one, when we start talking about stress adaptation and the effects, the positive effects of building lean muscle mass, you're elevating mood. So we talk about endorphin releases. Think about a day you had recently that was a quote unquote terrible day. Now, think about going to the gym and working out and having the endorphins release and having those good mood feelings be released and how you feel leaving the gym after that rough day. I've heard it time and time again. Every time I go to the gym, it may be a struggle to get there. And truth be told, the toughest thing is getting to the gym. However, once you're there, once you complete the task, you feel amazing. Okay, so that's a stress adaptation. Endorphins are being released and you're elevating your mood, thus washing away the effects of the stress. Decreases resting blood pressure. So we live in a society full of stress. We're required more work hours. We require quicker responses. Everything is at our fingertips. So there's naturally an increase in hypertension. There's an increase in stress syndromes. There's an increase in leaky gut syndrome. There's an increase in hypothyroidism. There's an increase in all these different symptoms that we are now experiencing as a society. So building lean muscle mass actually helps you decrease your resting blood pressure, thus negating the potential for hypertension and any type of stress syndrome. And think about this. Think about adrenal fatigue. Think about adrenal alarm, adrenal resistance. Those things are negated by safe and effective lean muscle mass production, implementing a health and wellness program. And the last thing I have here is stabilizes blood sugar. So this is a big one. So when we are in a catabolic state, when we are in a state of fight or flight, blood sugar increases. Now, how that mechanism is released, there's multiple ways. However, for the sake of keeping it simple, let's just say that this is going to affect, increased blood sugar is going to affect the rate of muscle. Remember at the beginning of this presentation, we talked about the rate of muscle mass that we lose per year. Okay? Increased blood sugar. And let's take it a step further. Type 2 diabetes actually greatly impacts the building of lean muscle mass. So, The purpose of stabilizing blood sugar is to, one, burn fat at a higher rate. And number two, avoid catabolism. Catabolism is the antithesis of muscle building. This is where you are building fat and burning muscle. So, if a stress adaptation of building lean muscle mass is stabilizing blood sugar, therefore we are increasing the burning of fat and we are staying in an anabolic state. Meaning, if you're anabolic, you are burning fat efficiently and you're building lean muscle mass efficiently. So, let's take a look at 5 pounds of fat. So look at the size of this thing, okay? Now, it bothers me sometimes when I hear people, oh, muscle weighs more than fat. No, it weighs the same. Here's the difference though. The composition of the fat versus the muscle mass is completely different. We have a ton of people in society right now stating, I would love to lose weight. However, they're focused on losing weight at whatever mechanism is available to them. So we fall into these fad diets, we fall into these programs that may not be the best fit for us individually. So I hope that this can shift your mindset to focus on building lean muscle mass. Now, one of the questions I always get is, well, Graham, I'm a female. Will I end up getting big and bulky? The answer is no, not unless you're taking pro-hormones. So at the end of the day, your body has estrogen. It doesn't have testosterone as a man. So be aware of that. The idea should be to pack on as much lean muscle mass as possible. Why? Because of all the reasons I just gave you in regards to the benefits of building lean muscle mass. And two, take a look at this 5 pounds of fat. Look how huge this is. Okay? By packing on lean muscle mass, we know the byproduct is that we're going to burn fat at a more effective rate, at a higher rate. So if you're carrying 5 pounds of fat, well, what happens when you build 5 pounds of muscle? Look at the size difference of 5 pounds of muscle to 5 pounds of fat. The composition is completely different. So if we look at 5 pounds of muscle and 5 pounds of fat, you technically lost 0 pounds. However, I almost guarantee that your clothes fit different, that you feel differently, that you're performing at a higher rate, that you're adapting to stress, and overall you're improving your mood, you're improving your quality of life, you're improving your energy, you're improving your cognition and your performance. That's how important this is. It's not the fact that it weighs more or less. It's not about weight loss. It's about effective lean muscle mass production. Because as we build more lean muscle mass, we tend to burn fat at a higher rate. And when you change the composition, you change your life. So guys, that's the presentation. Once again, my name is Graham Parrish. I appreciate your guys' attention. Like I said, we're going to keep this short and sweet. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. There's my email address, gparrish@selfwellnessllc.com. You can also call me for a free onboarding assessment. The reason I do this is because it's a free hour with me. It's an opportunity for us to peel back the onion layers and figure out what's best for you, whether that be with me or with some other mechanism. I have a ton of resources at hand that can help you implement a healthy way of lifestyle. And the goal for me is to love as many people as possible, to bless them and to get them on the right path. That means yoga, that means Pilates, if that means CrossFit, if that means massage therapy, if that means corrective exercise, whatever the mechanism is, I want to make sure that you have the best path possible, not just the one that makes me money. So reach out, call me, email me, let me know how I can support and serve you today. Guys, take care.